Love the Ravens as much as we do? Then smash that subscribe button and stay locked in with Flock News for all the drama, updates, and excitement all season long. The buzz around Baltimore has been impossible to ignore ever since the news broke. The Ravens have officially secured TEVIN Jenkins to bolster their offensive line, and fans are already imagining a fortress forming around their quarterback. Every offseason brings speculation, whispers of potential signings, and endless debates on forums. But this move feels like a calculated statement, a strategic shift designed to protect Lamar Jackson with an almost impenetrable wall. Jenkins has been known for his incredible strength, impeccable footwork, and the ability to dominate defenders in one-on-one matchups, and pairing him with the existing Ravens roster has ignited hope among supporters who crave a more consistent offensive line performance. Rumors suggest that the front office has been meticulously scouting Jenkins for months, analyzing every snap, every block, and every nuance of his playstyle to ensure he meshes seamlessly with Baltimore's offensive philosophy. The chatter among insiders is relentless, and many speculate this is more than just a signing. It's a message. Some analysts hint that Jenkins could redefine the line's identity, transforming a unit often criticized for vulnerability into a legendary protective shield. As speculation grows, so does the anticipation of seeing how this addition will impact the offensive dynamics and overall strategy, leaving fans and commentators alike on edge. The implications of Jenkins joining the Ravens stretch far beyond just solidifying pass protection. Observers are pointing out that his presence could dramatically improve running lanes, potentially unlocking a more versatile offensive scheme that balances Jackson's mobility with power runs, giving opponents a tactical nightmare to solve. Rumors circulating in locker rooms and sports networks suggest that coaches are already reworking playbooks to integrate Jenkins, exploring formations that maximize his blocking abilities while also creating mismatches that exploit weaker defensive fronts. Pundits are drawing comparisons to other league powerhouses, suggesting that the Ravens might be aiming to replicate the kind of offensive line dominance seen in historic Super Bowl runs. Meanwhile, social media is flooded with fan speculation, debates about Jenkins' adaptability, and even nostalgic comparisons to past Ravens legends who embodied toughness and reliability. Some insiders hint at secret workout sessions, clandestine strategy meetings, and a deliberate effort to ensure Jenkins doesn't just join the team, but becomes a cornerstone. The murmurs paint a picture of a team meticulously plotting not just for the next season, but for long-term dominance, with Jenkins as a key piece in a carefully orchestrated puzzle. The excitement, curiosity, and cautious optimism surrounding this acquisition continue to grow, feeding a narrative that is equal parts rumor, hope, and strategic foresight. Sources close to the organization whisper about the potential chemistry Jenkins could develop with veteran linemen, noting that mentorship and leadership qualities might be just as valuable as his on-field skills. The speculation extends to how this signing could shift team morale, suggesting that the locker room might experience a renewed sense of confidence, cohesion, and competitive fire. Analysts debate whether Jenkins' arrival signals a larger trend in the Ravens' approach to roster construction, hinting that the front office is now prioritizing long-term stability and player versatility over short-term fixes. Fans, of course, are both thrilled and anxious, torn between the excitement of acquiring such a high-profile talent and the fear of how he will adapt to the Ravens' play style, weather, and intense fan scrutiny. Behind closed doors, whispers circulate about potential schemes that exploit Jenkins' strengths, and insiders are already predicting how defensive coordinators across the league might scramble to adjust. Some rumor mills even suggest that Jenkins could inspire a ripple effect, prompting other teams to rethink their offensive strategies and draft priorities. The air is thick with speculation, anticipation, and cautious excitement as everyone waits to see whether this bold move will truly pay dividends or become another chapter in off-season hype, leaving fans glued to every update and every potential development that could shape the Ravens' offensive future. Talks among commentators often circle back to the intangible qualities Jenkins brings to the table, particularly his work ethic, discipline, and football IQ. Rumor has it that he spends countless hours reviewing film, studying opponents, and fine-tuning techniques to ensure peak performance, and sources suggest that the Ravens' coaching staff is already impressed with his approach. There's a growing narrative in media circles that Jenkins' mindset could catalyze a cultural shift within the team, fostering resilience, accountability, and an unrelenting pursuit of excellence. Meanwhile, whispers suggest that defensive coordinators are quietly worried, reviewing tape, analyzing Jenkins' angles, anticipating his moves, and attempting to develop counter-strategies. Fans are creating endless simulations, imagining how Jenkins might dominate the line of scrimmage against elite pass rushers, and debates rage about whether this acquisition might finally turn Baltimore into a perennial contender. The rumor mill continues to churn, fueled by insider leaks, cryptic comments in press conferences, and social media speculation, all pointing to a narrative that Jenkins could be more than just another player, potentially becoming a cornerstone of the Ravens' identity. With anticipation mounting and speculation at a fever pitch, every touchdown, every block, and every snap could now carry an added layer of intrigue, as the football world waits to witness the true impact of this bold off-season acquisition. The financial aspects of Jenkins' signing also feed the rumor frenzy, with insiders hinting at contract details, incentives, and performance clauses designed to align the player's success with the team's goals. Analysts speculate that this deal could set a precedent, influencing how teams approach high-value offensive linemen in the future, and some whisper that the Ravens might be laying the groundwork for a series of strategic investments in line stability. Behind the scenes, speculation runs rampant regarding locker room dynamics, potential mentorship roles, and the subtle psychological impact of having a powerhouse like Jenkins in the trenches. Social media is abuzz with fan theories, mock projections, and imagined scenarios in which Jenkins single-handedly transforms the Ravens' offense into an unstoppable force. Some insiders even suggest that rival teams are quietly reassessing their defensive drafts in response, adding a layer of intrigue and competitive tension to the offseason. With every passing day, rumors about secret training sessions, tactical drills, and potential breakthroughs continue to swirl, painting a picture of a team strategically positioning itself for dominance. In this context, Jenkins' arrival is not just a player acquisition but a narrative pivot, a story of anticipation, strategy, and the promise of a Ravens offensive line that could redefine standards and ignite excitement throughout the league. As the preseason approaches, speculation intensifies around how quickly Jenkins will adapt to the Ravens system and whether the team's offensive line can coalesce into the feared, dominant unit fans envision. Rumor has it that coaches are running scenarios, experimenting with combinations, and meticulously planning snap sequences to exploit Jenkins' strengths. Analysts continue to debate the potential ripple effects across the entire roster, suggesting that a fortified offensive line could elevate skill positions, increase quarterback efficiency, and transform the overall game plan. Fans are eagerly dissecting every rumor, from private training insights to locker room camaraderie, and social media chatter paints a vivid, sometimes exaggerated, picture of Jenkins' impact. There's a growing narrative that this signing might mark the beginning of a new era for the Ravens, one where offensive dominance is central to their identity, and every play is shaped by the presence of a lineman capable of redefining expectations. As the rumor mill churns, debates intensify, and excitement grows, the football world watches closely, eager to see whether TEVIN Jenkins will become the linchpin of Baltimore's offensive resurgence, or simply another intriguing storyline in the ongoing saga of NFL offseason drama. The speculation surrounding TEVIN Jenkins doesn't stop at his individual impact. Insiders hint at an entire domino effect across the Ravens roster, suggesting that his presence could redefine the roles and responsibilities of every lineman around him. Rumors have circulated that the coaching staff is experimenting with staggered protection schemes, intricate blocking rotations, and hybrid formations designed to leverage Jenkins' rare combination of agility, strength, and football intelligence. Analysts whisper about potential scenarios where Jenkins could serve as a pivot point in both pass protection and run schemes, creating mismatches that force opposing defenses to rethink their strategies entirely. Meanwhile, fans are abuzz with predictions of a line so dominant that it might allow Lamar Jackson to exploit his mobility without risking heavy hits, a dream scenario that's fueled endless debates across forums and social media. Some sources even suggest that rival teams are quietly monitoring every off-season snap of Jenkins, recognizing that the Ravens might be engineering a seismic shift in how offensive lines are valued and constructed. From private practice leaks to tantalizing hints in interviews, the narrative builds, portraying Jenkins as more than a player. He's a potential symbol of a new identity for Baltimore, a linchpin in a story that blends strategy, anticipation, and speculation into an off-season tale that refuses to fade. Insiders have begun hinting at the cultural impact Jenkins could bring, suggesting that his presence alone might spark a renaissance within the Ravens' locker room, fostering a renewed sense of accountability, discipline, and cohesion. Rumors suggest that veteran linemen are already taking cues from his work ethic, watching film late into the evening, and studying techniques that could elevate the entire unit. Analysts have speculated that Jenkins' leadership qualities might be as impactful as his physical skills, with whispers pointing toward him potentially mentoring younger players, instilling in them a mindset that prioritizes consistency, precision, and dominance at the line of scrimmage. Off-field sources hint at late-night discussions, strategy sessions, and even motivational huddles designed to integrate Jenkins' philosophy into team culture, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond game day execution. Fans, of course, are enthralled, imagining a scenario where the Ravens' offensive line evolves into an almost mythical force, able to dictate the pace and style of every game. The rumor mill suggests that every defensive coordinator across the league is quietly rethinking how to counter this potential juggernaut, adding layers of intrigue, strategy, and speculation that amplify anticipation as the preseason looms closer. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support keeps us bringing you the latest news on the Baltimore Ravens. And hey, drop your take in the comments below. We want to hear from the flock. Whispers about Jenkins' adaptability continue to dominate conversations, with insiders hinting at his ability to seamlessly transition into multiple offensive schemes and alignments, a versatility that few linemen possess. Analysts speculate that this flexibility might allow Baltimore to employ more creative formations, maximize mismatches, and exploit defensive weaknesses in ways previously unthinkable. The rumor mill has been relentless, fueled by clandestine reports of drills where Jenkins' coordination, timing, and strength were put to the test in various simulated scenarios, all designed to evaluate his readiness to handle the Ravens' unique offensive philosophy. Fans are dissecting every snippet of information, from off-season training footage to subtle hints dropped during interviews, creating a virtual playground for speculation that borders on obsession. Some insiders even suggest that rival teams are quietly lobbying their scouts to study Jenkins' tendencies, attempting to develop countermeasures before he can impose his will in live games. The cumulative effect of these whispers, analyses, and conjectures paints a picture of a team preparing not just for a season, but for a potential legacy, with Jenkins as the keystone in a narrative brimming with anticipation, strategic ingenuity, and the tantalizing possibility of reshaping the Ravens' offensive identity. Speculation also extends to how Jenkins' signing could influence the Ravens' draft strategy, with insiders hinting that front office decisions might now prioritize complementary linemen capable of supporting and amplifying his strengths. Rumors suggest that scouts are analyzing potential picks with a heightened focus on versatility, durability, and adaptability, aiming to create a line that functions as a cohesive, almost unstoppable unit. Analysts speculate that this strategic shift could position the Ravens as trendsetters, potentially influencing league-wide drafting philosophies and redefining how teams value offensive line continuity and synergy. Fans are abuzz with theories, mock drafts, and endless debates over which positions Jenkins' presence might allow the team to invest in most effectively. Meanwhile, some sources hint at subtle signals sent during press conferences, cryptic comments that fans and media alike interpret as hints toward a long-term plan of constructing an offensive juggernaut around Jenkins. The narrative builds, blending rumor, analysis, and imaginative projections, creating a sense of anticipation that borders on the theatrical, transforming what could have been a standard off-season acquisition into a storyline charged with intrigue, suspense, and the potential for league-wide reverberations. The ripple effects of Jenkins' arrival are also rumored to extend into team rivalries, with insiders suggesting that divisional opponents are already recalibrating defensive game plans in anticipation. Rumor mills claim that coaches in rival teams are poring over film, analyzing every nuance of Jenkins' technique, footwork, and positioning, seeking weaknesses or tendencies they can exploit before the season begins. Fans are captivated, creating virtual simulations, imagining scenarios in which Jenkins dominates the line of scrimmage, protects Jackson flawlessly, and opens running lanes that shift game outcomes dramatically. Analysts speculate that this ripple effect could redefine intra-division matchups, forcing opponents to adapt personnel strategies and draft priorities in a preemptive response to Baltimore's potential rise. Whispers suggest that Jenkins' presence could also embolden the Ravens' offensive coordinators to experiment more freely, introducing high-risk, high-reward plays that exploit defensive hesitation. Every report, leak, and insider comment is dissected, amplified, and shared across social media, transforming Jenkins' signing from a simple roster update into a multi-layered narrative of strategy, anticipation, and the kind of speculation that fuels conversation long before the first kickoff. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with exclusive news on our Baltimore Ravens, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what the flock thinks. Drop your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.